There is always a moment where a world-changing idea gets the momentum it needs to break free. For entrepreneurs, Pitch at Palace creates that time or that moment. We help hatch world-changing ideas. What began as an idea to see how best to support entrepreneurs is now developing into a global initiative and is a platform dedicated to accelerating and scaling early entrepreneurial businesses. In the 3 years since I founded Pitch at the Palace, we have helped entrepreneurs generate substantial new economic activity, not just in the UK, but in several overseas markets. We and our partners work to help entrepreneurs solve their challenges by bringing them ideas and people who can help unlock the challenges they each face. My ambition is twofold. First, to build access and connectivity for our entrepreneur alumni around the world. And this connectivity is crucial to any business's growth plans. Secondly, to build a network of commercial partners who can materially add value to these businesses through their professional know-how and early intervention. Pitch Global develops our international scale, creating a global platform for entrepreneurs to seek new markets and find new partners and investors. At the same time, reaching self-sustaining growth using the Pitch at Palace global network and our audience. In 2017, Pitch Global events will expand again to take place in China, the UAE and Australia, and return to events in Africa and Latin America. And we continue to develop in the United States. Developing this connectivity will support the growth of all the entrepreneur alumni, building prosperity, creating jobs in and between the entrepreneurs and their markets. Yo-Yo, who have received partnership with Cafe Nero. Magic Pony, who recently sold to Twitter for $150 million. Duke Deck raised $3.84 million in a funding round and entered into new partnership. We've helped Just Milk build awareness of their idea and achieve new grant funding. And Drenched, from Pitch at Palace 6.0, they are listed as one of the top 50 disrupted companies and are in discussions with new partners in a number of key new markets. As a startup and now as a scale-up, I'm experiencing some of the same anxieties and emotions that our customers feel. And as our story grows in its ambition, I say to every entrepreneur, each one of you in the audience, and importantly, to our partners, so should your ambition. Each of you can make the difference. Pitch at Palace. It really is your time.
So we're going to start with Squirrel.
Yes.
Maybe here's a few minutes. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what your business is. Pitch to the audience.
All right, and in true Pitch at Palace spirit, I'm going to do this standing up and with a lot of passion and gusto. So my name is Mutaz Kabaj. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Squirrel. We're about empowering people to take control of their financial lives for the first time. Let's get to the crux of the problem. The reality is that people are bad with their money. People don't know how to save. People live in their overdrafts and can't make it to the end of the month on their salaries, and people just don't know where their money is going. The problem's massive in the UK. You've got more than 200 billion pounds in outstanding consumer credit, and you've got more than 35 million people who make less than 35,000 pounds a year, so little to no disposable income to begin with. So what we've built at Squirrel is a smart bank account and an app that helps people manage their money even before they get access to it. So when somebody signs up to Squirrel, they get a bank account into which they can deposit their income, and then they get an app that's tied to that bank account where they set a plan for each of their commitments, their savings, and their spending money, and that money's pushed from their Squirrel bank account into their current account only right before they need it. So we're not about just showing you what you've done with your money, we're about making sure that your money's there right before you need it. And we went through the Pitch at Palace program in 2014, won it in November. It's been amazing since, and we've had more than 12,000 people using the platform. We've helped people manage more than £6.5 million to date, and helped them save upwards of £1.5 million of that. So that's about 10%. So that's about 10 times the national savings rate of 2% today. So for us, we know what we're doing. We're helping people take control of their financial lives. We're empowering them to achieve their financial goals, and that's Squirrel in a nutshell. Thank you.
Great. We have up next is
Randy, the moment you connect your devices to the internet, there is someone somewhere who is looking at your data and can misuse it. Now, this person can be your ISP, like Google, Microsoft, or your trusted network administrator. All your information is vulnerable. Now, there are companies in the cloud that claim to secure your data. They hold the keys, they generate the keys, which is required for encrypting your data, and they store the keys with them. Do you really think your data is secured? I don't think so. My name is Randhir. I'm co-founder of Galaxy. And right around 3 years back, we realized the only way to completely secure your data is to have control of your keys. Large corporates like Mosaic Fonseca, TalkTalk, Ashley Madison, Yahoo, I mean, I can go on with the list, lost a huge amount of data and faced major embarrassments just because they didn't secure their data in the right way. After 3 years of intense R&D, we built Galaxy. Galaxy differentiates clearly from its competitor in 3 ways. First, key control. So you have complete control of your keys. The keys are generated in your environment. You secure the data, and you store them in your control. So that's a very big differentiator. Second is usability. Gone are the days where you had to send passwords or keys to your peers when you send data to them. When you share emails or documents, you don't have to send any of that information. Usability is the key. You just have to just encrypt and send it. And the third is platform. So using Galaxy, you can encrypt on iOS, Android, Microsoft Outlook, web. You name the platform, it's available. Since our launch in late 2015, we've got some big customers who are trusted and using Galaxy. This includes Dubai Airports, DIFC, Marlboro Funds, GBLF, ING, UCL, Methodist Church, many more. These companies are able to control their security and their keys because of Galaxy. So no government body or spy agency can access their data without their permission. Galaxy takes care of your encryption in store as well as in transit. So if you're interested in securing your data without affecting your usability, and again, if you want to invest in our company, please talk to me. Thank you.
And Nadia.
Hi, guys. So I need a little bit of audience participation here. First of all, who here likes fish? OK, good number. So you're not alone, because 1/5 of the world's population is actually dependent on fish as their primary source of protein. But there's quite a big problem with this, because currently about 1 in 5 fish that's being caught is the wrong fish, in that they're too juvenile, they're endangered, or they're just species that can't be sold, or they're not marketable. So this is leading to billions of fish being thrown away each year, and 20% of space on vessels being wasted for fishermen. This is detrimental to both fishermen and the environment and the diversity we have. So what can we do about that? We at Safety Net Technologies envision a world where we are catching the right fish at all the right time. We are ensuring the livelihoods of fishermen in their local communities. We're fostering a global and sustaining the protection of endangered species, and we're helping the food security of a growing population. So how do we do this, and how are we envisioning this? Safety Net Technologies devices. So let me explain how. Say that this part of the audience, you guys are cod, and you love green light. This side of the audience, you guys are haddock, you like being haddock, and you hate green light. So when I hold up a device that shines green light, what do you think will happen? That's exactly how this works. So the cod will swim towards it, the haddock will swim away. This may sound crazy and like magic, but so this technology and the science of light has actually been researched since the 70s with scientists all over the world. So we now work with these scientists to gather that data and program that into our devices so that it allows fishermen to say, today I want to catch cod, and tomorrow I want to catch haddock. So in terms of how this is able to help us, we are able to, therefore, we've done trials with scientists and fishermen all over the world, and our trials have been able to reduce bycatch by up to 90%. So we're still continuing trials with different species of fish and seeing where this works, but we're now at a stage where we've proven our technology works, and we're looking to commercialize soon. So any advice on investment that we're now needing to scale up would be greatly helpful, and any potential partners that would be willing to continue trials with us would be great. So this is a very race against time because this is a technology that can make it happen, but you can help us get us there faster. Let's make fishing brighter. Thanks, guys.
Is it the same with humans? We've got blue lights in this room on. What fish responds well to blue lights?
So it depends, and it kind of varies on where you are and which species, the maturity, but also the seas that you're in. So there's a lot of variables. So it's hard to say blue lights for this.
Who likes tuna? Anyone here like tuna? Maybe that's blue lights, I don't know.
Hopefully. So, it's been working out there. People seem to be attracted to the light as well, so.
That's great. Can I just ask you very much, how did you come up with this idea? Was it, it's pretty brave.
So Dan, who is the founder of Safety Net Technologies, he actually came up with it as part of his undergrad studies. And he noticed that a lot of fishermen were getting arrested for discarding their fish illegally into waters because it was the fish they didn't want. But they didn't have an easy technology or solution for this. So he's a mechanical engineer, so he was trying to find a way that technology can help solve this problem, and started doing research into this.
And your business model is obviously selling this to fishermen?
Selling it to fishermen, but it's more based on a service model because we want to keep that engagement and see how we can keep improving the products and keep updating it so that they can stay relevant to the existing species out there.
And thank you. With Squirrel,
Yes.
Are you a finance guy by background? Are you into squirreling away? Probably people say that to you, of keeping all, have you always been one of those people that your friends have gone to save money, all the schemes? How did it happen?
I love that you tapped into the name Squirrels because it was actually a democratic process that ended up with that name. I'm a finance guy by background, but I got an MIT electrical engineering computer degree to kick off. So it's tech, banker, then back to tech because I was passionate about helping people with their money. And the truth is, it actually all started with seeing what was going on in the payday loan market and saying that can't go on. It's seeing commercials like telling people that a 1,000 to 5,000% interest rate was okay using sock puppets. For me, it was just that the market was screaming for a solution. And being a squirrel myself, I had to bring that to the world. So.
Great. And do you think with this obviously the financial services industry is facing massive disruption, things are changing. Are you constantly trying to evolve, or you just think that's the space? Because ultimately, like you said, it's a big challenge people have of low income. Are you seeing that the adoption rate is becoming higher? How are you seeing, if we were talking 1 year ahead, do you think that are there more people like you coming into this space? What's your thoughts?
Number one, you definitely need to keep on evolving in this market. And what's great about what's happening to the financial landscape is that it's becoming more me-centric as opposed to product-centric. People have access to, hundreds, if not, just thousands of new products on a yearly basis. And you always have to keep up with the developments in the market and figure out what they want and what they need. So for us, we actually started initially as an alternative, an ethical and responsible alternative to payday loans. Then we realized that's not what people want. People want to take control of their money. People want an easier way to get a handle on, just what's going to have to go towards their commitments, making savings ridiculously easy and getting people excited and impassioned as a family about what they can do with their financial goals, and just making sure that, they didn't have to struggle living in their overdraft, just month over month. So we have to evolve, and probably doing some of that right now.
And your business model is based on obviously savings people make. How's your business model work?
So the business model is based on subscriptions. So for us, we didn't want to go down the banking path where for this particular market, I guess some of the solutions out there that are trying to give you a new substitute to a bank account are going to push making money through either transaction costs or through bad behavior with money, getting into your overdrafts. And the larger banks, for the most part, have ignored this part of the market, so they're known as the underbanked. And for us, it was more about, let's provide a service that people are going to be willing to pay subscriptions for, that's going to truly change people's attitude, or fundamentally their relationship with their money for the better. The other part of the business model is, since we've got people telling us what all their commitments are and what they're saving towards, we can now leverage that group purchasing power to bring them even better deals. So it's not just saving, it's saving what they're saving for.
Right. And Randir, your background, obviously you're talking to us. How did you come up with your business?
Yeah, it was very funny actually. I was just finishing my previous venture and I met Ricky, my co-founder, and he was implementing PGP with the Wales government. And every evening we used to meet up and he used to be really frustrated because as a platform, PGP has been there for almost 1.5 decades, but rollout and usability was big issue. So even after implementing, he would say, nobody wants to use it. It's so difficult. And just one day, we decided, let's build Google in browser, because when Google launched, they had Lycos and Yahoo, which were doing really well. But what did Google do? Just made it easy and made it more accessible to people. And that's what we did. We decided, OK, let's work on that. And that was our big push over there. And yeah, we are doing well on that.
So, OK, so you set your business up. Now let's talk a little bit now about pitch. How did, as every entrepreneur starts your journey, raising money, coming up with an idea, changing all of that, how did you find out about pitch and what made you want to get involved?
Yeah, so when I started Galaxy, I mean, we had our own money, so we said, let's put in all the money, and we burned the cash pretty soon. And we built the product, which was good, and we got an IP. But to run the business, you do need money. And I'll be very frank, I got a call one day from Amanda, and I thought it was a spam, to be very frank. So I asked her, are you sure you're calling from the Palace? And she said, yeah. And then I said, no, I don't believe it. So she said, you can check the site and all. And I said, OK, what do you want? And then she said, OK, we found you, etc., whatever, the story. But it was fantastic. The journey was really, really good. I mean, the people are so supportive. Letty over here, Amanda, all those guys over there, it's fantastic. The big benefit we have got of Pitch of Palace is not at the time of pitching. Obviously, we got the benefit. The big benefits were after. And the networking is amazing. So you get to meet like-minded people. It's not only investors or customers, but like-minded entrepreneurs, and that's fantastic. I think that experience, none of the other.
Which, because there's different batches. Which one were you in?
I was in the 6th.
You're in the 6th one. All right, so quite recent as well. And now, what about yourself? How did you find out about pitch?
So likewise, we got contacted by Pitch at Palace.
Like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
It is. It was like the golden ticket, right? So, and first we're like, oh, this sounds interesting and kind of unbelievable. So we reached out. They reached out to us, and we applied, and we got in, and won. And as he said, it's so much more about not just winning the competition, but the support you get afterwards. So almost anyone that goes through Pitch at Palace, just by being able to present, gets a lot of support from the people in the audience that are somehow able to help, whether that's through customers or connections or investment or anything like that. So even though there's winners at Pitch at Palace, and almost everyone's a winner that gets into Pitch at Palace, which has been really supportive.
Absolutely. And yourself?
So we won a Wired Startup Pitch competition, and the Duke was in attendance. So he said just the top 3 companies should go on to a Pitch at Palace boot camp. Went in there and was one of the 14 companies that was forwarded through to the St. James Palace pitch, and it's just insane, just in terms of the value you get from it, as well as the whole experience. You're pitching at St. James Palace, you're in a room with 400 people, leaders of industry. So when they're talking about connections, you're talking about the Duke's Rolodex in one room, and for a startup looking for any sort of catalyst to jumpstart your business, it's phenomenal.
I massively think it's an amazing initiative. Like you said, someone so high profile who's actively going out there to support entrepreneurs, to do it not just in the UK, but globally, and to really put heart, soul, and effort into it. It's a phenomenal program. And what advice, obviously, and the Pitch in the Palace have its batch 8, if I'm right, and the applications are still open. So I urge all of you, the website is here, pitchatpalace.com. If you're interested in applying as an entrepreneur, please do. And really, as we've got a few minutes left, maybe if each of you can give advice to entrepreneurs in the audience, and maybe if you can start, Nadia, what advice do you give to someone firstly from the pitch side, just generally? I think every entrepreneur has been through an interesting journey. If there was one or 2 words of wisdom, what would you give?
1 or 2 words?
Well, maybe like 3.
I would say ask. Know your ask. So one of the things that we were highly encouraged to do at the Pitch at Palace was to really refine what your ask was at the end of your pitch. So the person you want to meet that will help you succeed, and even fine-tune it exactly to one person or a couple and how that would help you in your business. So once you put your ask out there into the world comes back to you, and it's been immense. So I think that would be my suggestion.
Right.
So I always tell people that the major thing is just leave your passion out there on the stage. You've got one chance to make an amazing impression. There are 400 people in that audience who are already in the right mindset to be catalysts for your business. Go through with very directed asks to find the catalyst you want and just get them excited. They're already stakeholders by being in that room with you, but you have an amazing opportunity. Don't waste it.
Yeah, my experience is a bit different. So when we started off and when we did the pitch, obviously, we had a focus to find investors, go after investors. And you miss a really important thing is customers. I think you need to get after customers, get more customers and more contacts, because customers are going to get business at the end, investors aren't. I mean, investors are going to support you if you have customers, so it's very important you get customer base. That's the most important thing as an entrepreneur.
I'm very pleased you said that, because I think one of the things that Unbound we're all very strong about is that bridge between it's customer centric. If you get a customer, you grow your business. Is much more important that than looking for capital. And I think just what I want to say before we end is really, to the audience, really go and check out the website. Very rarely do you see a scheme. We heard yesterday from many corporates who run these acceleration, these programs. There's always not a hidden alternative, but there's a reason behind it. Never rarely do you find a scheme. I think really Pitch, certainly in my knowledge, is the only one in the world where generally there's only one interest, is making the entrepreneurs have the right opportunity. And for all of you in the audience, please check it out. If you are relevant, please apply, and please more. And hope you also, we've got an area, I think there's 8 startups outside, first left. Go over, take a look. I think we're all interested in the fish and the lights. If you can turn the lights on, we can all attract there. And really, thank you all for coming. Thank you for all participating. Thank you to Pitch. And Naomi, I think we're over to you.